time. Here, so good to see you all here, guys.
Yes, this is so exciting.
It is. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hello to everybody who is taking time out of their afternoon to join us today. Please let us know that you can see us and hear us. We're so stoked that you're with us today. I think, are we waiting for people to join? I think this is the time when you wanted me to like dance around with my book. I'm not going to do that.
Okay, I'm just gonna look at, sorry, let me just do a little, you gotta dance around with that book a little, because I'm just getting in to see everyone who's here joining us for your exciting launch. Awesome, guys, so good to see you all here.
Who's here? Who's here?
Okay, I think I gotta go to this computer to see. Loretta, Sandy, Martin, seeing a lot of familiar names here. Yanina, Andrea. Hi, guys. So exciting. So it's your book birthday. Still Dancing is out in the world, and we're here to celebrate today.
It's a crazy time to launch a book. We can't get together in real life. There's no free bar or waiters strolling around with trays of smart hors d'oeuvres, but I would encourage you to raid your own liquor cabinet or grab a beverage of choice. I have mine here. For those of you who don't know, my name is Beaven, and I'm here to bring my new book, Still Dancing, out into the light today. I'm here with my daughter, Megan Hashem, who has agreed to be in conversation with me today. Also, she is good at the technical stuff, which I am totally useless at. So we're on a couple of platforms, which is kind of complicated, but Megan is going to be monitoring the chat feature so that we don't miss anything that anyone wants to say to us.
Yes, you can let us know you're here. So say hi, ask a question, leave a comment, whatever you like in the chat feature. So on your phone, it will be below the video. And if you're on Facebook on your computer, it will be to the right. So drop us a line. We love to see who's here. Lots of people joining us. It's super exciting. And at the end of this event, we will be having a giveaway for a copy of Still Dancing. So we will be taking a randomized name from all the people who comment. So make sure you comment and someone has a chance to win a copy of your book. So let's get to your book.
Okay.
Still Dancing, super exciting.
Yeah.
So, Still Dancing, 13 lifelong dancers share their journeys. Tell us about why you wrote this book.
Okay. I dance, I've always danced, and I noticed that there were a lot of people my age or older who were still dancing. And I've always been fascinated by that hold that dance seems to get on some people. Also, in the media and in popular literature now, you read a lot about the benefits of dance for older adults. So I thought I wanted to explore that. I wanted to know what started these people dancing, how they chose the form of dance that they would grow into, what their journey was like, and especially I needed to know what dancing was like for them at an older age, what had changed, what hadn't, what the challenges were, and especially what kept them dancing.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna get to some questions now.
Okay.
All right, so one of the questions that's come in is how you decided who to interview, which dancers you wanted to include in the book.
Okay. Some of the dancers I knew, some I knew of, and others were suggested to me. I knew I wanted to interview dancers over a wide range of dance forms, which I did. So in the book, there are a couple of ballet dancers. There's a belly dancer, a ballroom dancer, a tap dancer, a Filipino folkloric dancer, a jive dancer, a jazz dancer, contemporary dancers, an Indian classical Katak dancer, a Highland dancer. I think that's about it. I also knew that I wanted the book to be a mix of professional dancers and people who hadn't taken their dance practice in that direction. So some of the dancers have made a living at dance. They've performed on commercial and concert stages all over the world. And some of the dancers have not taken their practice in that direction. It's easy to find out about our dance stars, if we can say we have those, especially here in Canada, people who are well known in dance. All you have to do is Google their names and you can find information about them. But for the people who have not danced professionally, who haven't made a career of it, we don't really get to hear their stories. And I think their stories are just as important and just as inspiring. So that's how I chose the dancers that I was going to interview.
Cool. Okay, I don't know how you're gonna feel about this question. I read that Still Dancing is a series of first-person accounts from interviews. Does that mean the book sort of wrote itself?
Okay, I love this question actually, and more people may be wondering about that. The book is a series of first-person accounts that I made from interviews that I recorded. I was very fortunate. Of course, you can interview people virtually, but my interviews happened just before the whole COVID pause, so I was able to sit down in person with each of the dancers and talk. And I recorded the interviews. Then the recorded interviews had to be put into a readable form. Every interview was about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and for each hour of oral history, it takes about 4 to 5 hours to turn that into a readable form. Because it's not simply a matter of writing down word for word what anyone said. Now, why is that? In everyday speech, we may use a lot of irregular grammar. We use a lot of filler words, things like and you know. There may be broken sentences. People may have false starts where they talk about one thing, start talking about one thing, then go off and talk about something else and come back to it. So all these are not things that we need to eradicate or get rid of, but they are things to be aware of when you're going from the oral form to something that is readable for people. Also, when people are reminiscing or recalling events, memories sometimes come in a somewhat haphazard fashion. And so sometimes some reordering is necessary in order to ensure flow. I think what comes out of all of this is what is called clean verbatim or intelligent verbatim. Although somebody who knows more about writing in the academic sense could probably tell me if I'm using that term correctly. I'm sure my sister Pamela could weigh in on that.
She's here.
So what I tried to do, what I needed to do, was take the oral history and make it into a readable form while maintaining the integrity of what was said. Because I feel that the stories we choose to tell and the way we choose to tell them are enormously important, and you don't want to lose that. And I hope when people read Still Dancing, they will be able to hear the stories as I heard them in the dancers' voices. That's kind of a long answer, but I hope that answered the question.
That was a good answer, though. Okay, we should let people know where they can get their copy of Still Dancing, right?
Good idea.
So you can head over to www.patbeaven.com. This is your website and you've got your book there. I've tried to put a link to it directly here, but it won't let me in the comments. I will try again. Maybe I'm not allowed to put links in there. But
Okay.
after I'll post a link so you can just click it. But it is easy to get to at www.patbeaven.com. Check it out. You can get your copy of Still Dancing. There's so many stories in here. Are you going to read a little bit of your book? Give a little taste?
I could do that.
Awesome.
I had thought about maybe having somebody else read one of their stories, but how to choose, who would get to read. So I decided that I was going to read a little bit from my own story. My life has been sort of in Highland dance and Celtic dance, but like many dancers in the book, they have a main form of dance, but they did kind of flirt with other types of dance or try other types of dance. So this is a little bit about when I went on one of those little diversions. I'm going to read from page 104. Okay, and then a little detour on my journey. Something worlds away from dancing over swords in wool and tartan. At 17, I was very involved in community theater and had become good friends with a fellow thespian, the only other teen in the group at the time. Her name was Elaine. She was a couple of years older than me, and I thought she was beautiful. I learned in one of our post-rehearsal gabfests that she danced a couple of times a week at a downtown club. That was big to me. It sounded like something out of a movie. I bombarded her with questions. She told me it was a groove, paid decent money, and then she added, "Hey, you're a dancer, you could get a job there." Outrageous. What a crazy idea. I laughed and put it out of my mind. But like many ideas that hint at the existence of a wider world beyond, it wouldn't stay out. And that's how I found myself a month later at the door of an establishment just off St. Catherine Street. Elaine said her boss, Mick, was looking to hire 2 new go-go dancers and had set up an audition for me. "You will have to sling beer and lie about being underage. That cool?" Clutched in my hand was a 45 RPM record, 8 miles high by the Birds, to which I had choreographed a number that I hoped was engaging and sexy in a fun way. Although what did I know? I had never been inside a nightclub before, and all my ideas about go-go dancing came from watching Hullabaloo on TV. I wore a mini skirt, crocheted top, and white go-go boots borrowed from my friend Janice. I remember feeling tight and untalented, just trying to breathe as I stepped up on that little platform to dance. The rest is pretty much a blur, but I guess Mick decided I would do, and I was hired on the spot. I was told we would discuss shifts later. Elaine was my lifeline, and the learning curve was huge. Bought my own boots that week, purple knee-highs with a zipper up the side. Figured out that by the yard fringe and sequins could turn anything into a costume, even for someone with 0 sewing skills. I learned how to melt black crayons in a spoon over a candle and drip paint the wax onto my lashes for super glam stage eyes. I was told the club would pay a $100 bonus if I'd get a boob job. Mick would even supply the name of the doctor. Oh, very reputable, one of the good guys. Silicone injections and cut and stuff silicone was just becoming the thing at that time, but I opted to pass on this employee benefit. Discovered I liked the challenge of making people watch me, which later proved valuable in developing a healthy stage presence. And I was always ready to bring it when I got to stop serving drinks and dance. The go-go's took to the platform for 3 20-minute shows per shift. These clubs were happening places, by which I mean things happened there. You were always hearing about truck heists, suspicious fires, and trouble from the West End gang. And in the summer of '67, there was a shootout at the club, and another at the nearby Country Palace. It scared me, and Elaine and I both quit the same day. We went our separate ways. She became a bunny girl at the Gem Motel's bunny room, and I worked for a while at the All-American Cafe. And then, as quickly as this little episode in my dance life had started, it was over. I traded in my go-go boots for ghillies once again.
That's so cool. That just makes me want to dive into all these stories, right?
And they're all so different. They're all very singular and special.
A lot of people here love that story. So there's lots more exciting stories like that in this book.
There are so many. Do you think there's time to see if there are any more questions?
I have lots of questions here. So
Okay.
Let me give you one. Let's see. Do you have a favorite story in this book?
Do I have a favorite story? You know, I loved every conversation that I had, and all the stories were very special to me. I don't think I could pick a favorite. But you know something? People are having favorites. I've heard from a couple of people already who have read the book and who have told me, totally unasked, what their favorite story was. And I don't know, maybe it's because they could relate to it or it was particularly inspiring for them. So maybe in the end, everyone will end up having a favorite story. You'll have to let me know if you have a favorite.
Okay, can we do another question?
Sure.
Okay, so Christina wants to know, what did you find as a commonality between the different genres of dance?
Between the different genres of dance. You know, it's interesting because at the beginning, I wanted to know how people got into the genre of dance that they would grow into. I wondered if it was just by chance, by early exposure, maybe being put into a class, or if it was a deliberate choice. A lot of people, one commonality that I found was a lot of people, when they were children, either really wanted to dance and their parents didn't put them into classes, or weren't very interested and their parents did put them into classes, which was kind of fascinating. So I don't know if that really answers the question.
Yeah,
but
I think that's interesting. Can you do another question? There's
Sure.
just so many.
Sure.
So I'm just picking a few here.
Sure.
Okay, so Pamela wants to know, what was the most surprising to you in the process of writing?
In the process of writing, well, see, Pamela's a writer, so she would wonder about this. You know what was most special to me, I'm not sure if, well, it was kind of surprising, is that it was really wonderful to be invited into people's homes, people that didn't know me at all, to be invited into their homes and to have them share their stories with me, their journey in dance with me, not knowing really, just trusting what I would do with it, not knowing what I might do with their story.
And now she's gone and done it.
I hope that everyone will love the way their story is portrayed in still dancing.
Yeah. Should we do the giveaway?
Yes,
Let's give away a book.
Let's.
All right, so this is a giveaway for a copy, your own copy of Still Dancing. If you haven't commented or left a question or said hi in the chat, do it now for your chance. We're going to use a randomizing thing to kind of pick a winner here.
Okay.
So
I guess we're supposed to have like a
Yeah,
drum
we'll have
roll
a moment
or something.
here while I figure this all out. Do you have the drum roll, Mom?
I don't
Are
have
you
a
ready
drum
with
roll.
it? No.
Everyone
okay.
can imagine
Sorry,
a
guys.
drum roll.
Thoughts. Okay, we should be all set here. And the winner is, this is exciting for me too, I'm going to get to see, the winner is...
You already have your copy, so.
Yeah, I'm not, well, I didn't comment either, I don't think. The winner is Andrea Lyons.
Yay,
Yay,
Andrea.
congrats, Andrea. So make sure you DM Pat, and she's going to mail out your copy tonight, right? Tonight.
Tonight.
Or
It's
tomorrow
gonna
morning.
happen, for sure.
All right, Andrea, congrats. All right, so before we wrap up, I wanted to ask you what's next. Do you have a new project in the works? A lot of people are asking this too, so
Okay.
not only me, everyone wants to know, what are you doing next?
Okay, I do have a new project that I'm working on, and it's sort of a sequel to Still Dancing.
Oh,
Ex-
and sorry to interrupt, but a lot of people are asking if you're doing a sequel and if you have more stories and if
well, are
a
people
lot of
reading
that.
my mind?
Yeah, there's a lot. That's why I didn't ask those questions, because I'm like, I think she's going to talk a little bit about that at some point.
Yes, I am doing another kind of Still Dancing book, but it will be with dancers from a wider geographical area, actually the whole world. The dancers in this book are in a very specific geographical area, a specific part of Canada, but I've now touched base with dancers all over and they have lots of stories to tell. So I will be writing that, and I'm also working on another kind of secret project, secret writing project right now.
It's exciting.
It is. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Are you able to talk a little bit about what you're working on, about your next book?
Sure. Everyone's here to hear about your book, though, but
Tell us.
okay. So I'm writing a book about hockey, and it's basically my experience and my adventures and my misadventures in the crazy hockey world. First as a hockey mom, and then later, a little bit after that, jerseying up and playing on a team myself. So the book is a lot about rediscovering my Canadianness through hockey, and there's some perspectives and insight on women in hockey as well. It's kind of like that.
Wow. I want to read that book.
Good. You will.
I want to be first.
You will.
So the next time that we're together like this, well, hopefully it won't have to be virtual like this. It'll be for your book launch.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so before we wrap up, let's let people know one more time where your book is. So it's on your website at www.patbeaven.
Oh yeah.
www.patbeaven.com. Am I right?
Yes.
All right. All
And
right.
hopefully when we're through all this COVID stuff, the book will be out in independent bookstores.
Yeah,
So that will
right.
be good. So
I'm doing the dancing with the book now.
that I wouldn't do. So when you said before we wrap up, does that mean we're kind of finished now?
I don't know. Does it?
Is there anything more that people might want to know about?
There's so many, Mom. There's a lot that people want to know about. Yeah.
Okay, hit me with one.
Okay, you want one? Okay, great. One sec, I'm gonna go back. Let's see. I had my drink. I was like, okay, sorry. I'm back to work here, guys. I'm back to work. Here we go. Why do you think dancing as this is from Karen. Why do you think dancing as a social interaction is disappearing? Why do people not learn to dance in school anymore or at home? Is this something that we are just losing? Music is the common language that connects us, but it seems to be awfully quiet. So why do you think dancing as a social interaction is disappearing?
I don't know, but I think it's a darn shame.
It's a good question.
Because, dancing with people,
Yeah.
social dancing, gives an idea that you're willing to interact with someone, that you're willing to put yourself in that space and interact with them. And I think that's a fundamental thing. And if social dancing is disappearing, then that's very sad.
It is.
right now, of course, we're not out there dancing together, but I miss that so much. I miss dancing with people. I miss, even that touch deprivation. I feel like not dancing with people and not dancing in close quarters with people, or actually, swinging arms with people, or holding hands with people, or being in someone's arms, I don't know. I don't know that it's disappearing, but it's a shame if it is.
Yes. Do you want one more little? Sorry. There's just a lot of questions. Sure. Okay, so Kitty is asking, I don't know if this is true because I think she dances, right?
Okay, ask away.
Any advice for those of us who used to dance and can't anymore?
You know what? I cannot even imagine how hard that is. And in the book, actually, a few of the dancers talk about how, when they're getting older, or when they're getting less able to move well and have different health problems, that it's hard to do the kind of dance that they want to do, or dance the way they want to dance. But, just moving to music is...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You can be sitting down, you can be moving to music, just feeling that and wanting to move. It would be an enormously difficult thing to do, not to be able to do.
Of course, yeah.
Just do what you can. I think that's the best thing. Just do what you can. And,
yeah,
if there's music on, just move the way you can to it.
Yeah.
And if you're sitting down, so what? There are all those classes.
People are writing chair dancing.
Yes.
Yep, Laura just wrote about the chair dancing.
There are a lot of classes like that. I know National Ballet has some online chair dancing classes. And just to be able to move any way you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Okay. Thank you so much for being here with me today, for doing this week with me. And thank you to everyone who has taken some time out of their afternoon to be with us. The only thing that could have made this better is if I could have seen all your lovely, friendly faces in person. But I did feel your energy, and it means the world to me that you were here. So thank you very much. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.